Welcome back, sporting fans, to another spectacular episode of the Paint the Wall podcast. I, as always, am your host, Steve, and I am joined this week by a man who still uses T9 texting, but you all know him as Logan.
Yeah, I mean, old habits die hard. It's how I learned how to text. It's just easier.
Yeah.
What's the tricky bit is getting a phone that is a smartphone that can still let you use T9 texting. That's a little strange.
I assume it's like a separate keyboard that you have to download.
Yeah, pretty much. I had an iPhone for a while. That was really hard, but now that I have an Android, it's a lot easier.
Yeah. You come to the light side. Or maybe it's the dark side. It's the better side, though.
Yeah, who knows? We have more fun over here.
Yeah. All right, well, that's enough enjoyment for this season, really.
Yeah.
We are, of course, talking about our... Now, we do have a good game in there, I guess. We have a 4-1 thumping of Colorado at home.
Sure.
Of course, it's followed up by a 0-2 loss to Minnesota that eliminates us from the playoffs. But
Right.
So does the 4-1 really matter that much?
No.
It depends on how you look at it, I guess.
Sure, I suppose.
If you look at it how I am choosing to look at it, it feels pretty good because at this point, all I care about is winning the Open Cup. So I'm like, if we can put a lineup out that looks like that and plays like that, we can win an Open Cup with that.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially when you sub back in some of our normal starters that we would have. You know, I think our defensive line would be better. We'd have Melia in goal. Other than that, actually, it's probably going to be about the same. But
yeah.
You know,
nor would I want to change it that much.
Yeah, right. That team can win an Open Cup tomorrow night.
Yeah, probably.
So if you look at it from that perspective, I guess it kind of lends to a nice perspective. But
yeah,
do you have any thoughts on this game, or I guess we could just lump both games together and talk about that? I guess it's
sure.
Really, whatever up to you, I guess.
Yeah, I mean. Colorado game, yeah, I mean, it was good. Like, it was obviously a very good result. Anytime you can beat one of the better teams in the West 4-1, that's always a good sign.
31 shots, too.
31 shots, 2 braces. One from Alan Polito and then one from Eric Tommy, which Eric Tommy came in at some point. When did he?
30. He played, I wrote this down. He played 30 minutes. Almost exactly. He played 30 minutes. But he subbed in for Polito. So he had 2 braces, neither one of which played 90 minutes.
Right, exactly. So that's pretty wild. So great performance. Alan Polito clearly listened to our episode, which you did text me. This is absolutely wild because we hadn't even edited it whenever he did that. So that's pretty insane.
No, I was in the process of editing the episode while he was scoring. So I was like, how did he hear this? Impressive. It really was.
Yeah.
But hey, kudos, you know?
Yeah, kudos to him. And then only to follow it up with the stinker against Minnesota.
Well, winning Rome.
Yeah. Obviously, we thrashed the 4th seed in the West. 3rd seed in the West now. And then we go up against the 9th seed in the West, like the one that we absolutely had to win, and look terrible the entire game. I mean, first half, and I made the comment last week. I was there for the first half. The rain delay, I didn't stick around for the rain delay. It was
okay. That explains it.
Yeah.
I had texted you and I was like, hey, let me know when they come back to play. And then didn't hear anything until I thought about it while we were sitting at IHOP. I went and checked and was like, oh, it's 2-0 right now.
Yeah.
In like the 90th minute. I'm like, cool.
That's my bad. I was in bed when the game resumed. So
yeah.
Honestly, I'm very surprised that they ended up finishing that game because it was supposed to thunderstorm all night and it's lightning, obviously that'll do it. They didn't kick it back off until 2 hours later, and I had zero desire to sit there for 2 hours. So anyway, the first half was decent. Like they had some offensive, some really good options. They had some good, decent creativity. And honestly, a couple goals that, like, there was a header from Willie Agata that honestly should have been a goal, but great save from St. Clair. And then there was another shot, I don't remember, but there's a couple opportunities that, like, honestly could have been some goals. But then second half rolled around and we just couldn't do anything. And then, even worse, we get, a little bit of life at the end of the game. We get a PK awarded to us at the 88th minute. Only for Willie Gatta to send it off the crossbar, sending very audible boos throughout the entire stadium from the broadcast. So our PK woes continue this season. We've been one of the worst teams in the league, I think, if not the worst, at PK conversion percentages.
Could be. I don't think I've ever seen that. I'm sure it's there, but
yeah,
I've ever seen that.
I know we were one of the worst because I was reading an article on the Kansas City Soccer Journal. Thanks, Chad. That was highlighting that stat, but I don't remember where we sit now.
Figures.
But anywho,
when was that PK? I'm trying to find it real quick to see if I can see when that PK was.
I think it was the 80-something minute. It was pretty late.
It was after they scored, right?
No, it was before, after they scored their first goal, before they scored their second goal.
Yeah, so it would have been.
It would have been.
But it would have been game time. There it is. Penalty miss. It was in the 90th minute.
Oh, there you go.
So that would have tied it right in the 90th minute.
Correct.
And then us being us still would have given up the 94-minute goal. But
right. Right.
Yeah, I saw a lot of stuff on Twitter. People giving Willie Gatta crap for missing that. It's Willie Gatta. What did you expect to happen?
Right.
Like,
and
his
for
conversion rate itself is terrible.
Right. And for me, like, there's just nobody on the team who's good at PKs. That's a problem.
I was like, who else is going to take it? Polito, all he does is terrible PKs too. So I don't want him to take it. We talked about that a couple weeks ago when he missed his PK.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want him to take it. I guess I would let Tommy take it.
Mm-hmm. Here's a fun little game. So this is according to MajorLeagueSoccer.com. Mm-hmm. We are last in the league, tied for last in the league in penalty kick percentage. Mm-hmm. Second to last is Toronto at 25%.
Is that converted penalties?
Yes.
Okay.
That is yes.
Okay.
So 25% converted.
Okay.
Would you like to guess what our percentage is?
11.
0.
Oh, yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
I was just trying to, I'm like, have we made, I know we've missed 2. We don't actually get that many. So
yeah, we are 0 for 3 this year.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that checks.
Yeah. Tied for New England. And the only reason we're tied with New England for 0 is because they have been awarded 0 penalty kicks this year.
Sure. Gotcha.
So
yeah, that's rough.
Yeah.
I know one of ours got saved. Politos got saved. I wonder the first one. I want to say it was saved.
No, so there was Alan Politos that got saved, and then I think Willie Agata, because Willie Agata had the hat trick attempt.
That's right. He put that one over the bar.
Correct, and then he put this one into the crossbar.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So
yeah, I don't know, but like we were saying, who do you have take that?
Right.
I personally, my choice would have been Eric Tommy.
Yeah,
because I don't trust either forward to take a penalty, which is dumb.
Yeah.
I already don't trust Daniel Shallowy to take penalties because he's notoriously terrible at them.
Yeah.
Afrifa wasn't on anymore. Johnny Russell was on. I guess he could have taken it.
He's not been any good at them either.
I feel like he has been good at penalties.
Maybe. I don't know. And actually, so a small correction to what you said. The one that Alan Polito had saved was in the Open Cup match against Indy 11. This is just regular season.
Oh, okay.
Right. So I think Johnny is the other one because I think I remember Johnny taking a PK this year. I think Johnny is the third one. I think it's been Johnny, and then Willie Agata missed 2.
Maybe it was.
But I think Johnny's was saved.
You're definitely right. Politos was against Indy 11.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to just quickly look up our conversion rate, but I don't even really know what to search for that, and nothing's really coming up. Sporting KC penalty statistics.
Well, what do you mean our conversion rate?
Like how many we had? Yeah.
It's
by player. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
No, this website says that we've had 3, 2 from Willie Agata and 1 from Alan Polito.
Oh, okay. Maybe Johnny's was an Open Cup as well. Or maybe I'm just wrong completely. Very possible.
It does say that his was Open Cup. The Polito's was.
Interesting. Yeah, because MLS.com doesn't keep Open Cup statistics usually.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're going down a rabbit hole again.
Well, what else are we going to do?
Anyway.
Yeah, I don't see any other. Just Major League Soccer penalties. We only have 2 by Willie Agata.
Yeah.
So.
Well, there you go. I don't know. Like, you have to think that, Peter's done plenty of practicing and, evaluating players and has determined that Willie Agata is the best on the team at penalty kicks, which stinks because he's not very good at them, apparently.
Yeah, that's true. Let's see. Last year we had 6 penalties. Alan Polito went 3 for 4. Johnny Russell went 1 for 1. Eric Tommy 0 for 1.
Yeah,
that was last year.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. 21-22. I'm not going to go much further than this. I'm just kind of curious. Johnny Russell 3 for 4. Shallowy 0 for 1. So all total in the last 4 years, Johnny Russell is 4 for 5.
Yeah, been our best option.
So that's probably who I would have picked.
Mm-hmm.
I still would be okay with Tommy. He's only taken 1. So, yeah, go back to 2020 and 21. Johnny Russell's 3 for 3. So that's 7 for 8 over the last several years. So yeah, that's who I would have doing it. Oh, we were perfect back in 2020 on penalties though. 6 for 6.
Look at that.
But either way, it doesn't matter. It already happened. So what are we going to do? But
yeah.
So thus ends our playoff bid for this year.
Yep.
We have been mathematically eliminated now.
That is correct.
However, the only good thing, I guess, still to come from that, we do have a U.S. Open Cup championship tomorrow night to fight for. And also, it is also mathematically impossible for us to win the wooden spoon.
Hey.
Which makes us still the only active original MLS team to never win the wooden spoon.
Let's go.
So, I'll take that. And honestly, when you consider like the way that our season went, and this is just me purely trying to be optimistic, I guess. But the way our season went, if we don't win another game, we finish with 31 points, which is only 10 points below the playoff line. So not horrendous.
Well, the playoff line today.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. So it'll probably be 15, 16 below the playoff line.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
But either way, as it sits right now today, San Jose only has 18 points.
Yeah.
So it could be a lot worse.
Yeah, it could be a lot worse. There is always that. It could,
and we would not be last in the East either. In fact, we would actually be up 1 spot in the East. So
would we?
Well, actually, no, because we are 12th.
We would be
31 points would put us 14th. Yeah, 14. Oh, but they have an extra team, so
yeah,
we essentially would be in the exact same spot.
Basically,
we'd be 14 out of 16 at that point.
Yeah, I mean,
which is basically the same thing.
Yeah, you're definitely being very optimistic here, but I mean, listen, there's nothing good to take from this.
We can't say that yet. After tomorrow night, we will be able to say if there was anything good to take out of this season.
Very true. Any season that you win hardware is a good season.
Yeah.
So that's a very good point.
So yeah, if we pull off a win tomorrow night and get a trophy, I'll take it.
Sure.
I'll be like, hey. Plus, we'd be the only team ever to win 5 U.S. Open Cups.
Yep.
That would be pretty impressive. So
yeah,
it would task ahead before that. But before we talk about that, we'll talk about that here in a minute.
Sure.
I was curious if you have a MVP still and MVP from this week.
I don't know. MVP. Probably Eric Tommy. I mean, he had a brace. I mean, Alan Polito. Either one of those guys, I'd be fine giving. I'd probably say Eric Tommy just because he looked better. I guess he did it in 30 minutes, so he gets the MVP.
Sure. The second game kind of made this harder.
Yeah.
Because the first game, in my opinion, it was basically a coin flip.
Mm-hmm.
It was basically a coin flip between Polito or Tommy, whichever one. I would concede he did it in 30 minutes, so
sure.
Why not? I was going to throw an honorable mention out there for Willie Agata.
Interesting. Okay.
He was all over the place. He had 5 shots and an assist.
Yeah.
And he was in the right spot consistently. He just had a couple saved. I don't think he put any over the bar that I can remember. Any of his, classic miss it by a mile shots. I don't think he had any of those. They were pretty much all right there on target, or he was 6 inches too short to reach one of the crosses that he got,
or putting it into the crossbar on a PK. But
well, so I'm just talking about the first game.
Okay, understand.
He was going to be my honorable mention, and then he had to go and hit the crossbar on the PK for Minnesota. So now it feels a little, lackluster to give him any mention. But he was really good in that Colorado game.
He was, yeah.
And I really thought that was impressive.
Yeah, I mean, you and I love Willie, so we're always going to look for ways to feel good about him.
And plus, like Peter said, he took the shot, he missed it, move on.
Yeah.
What are we going to do? It's a bummer that he missed it, but it happened. So I still stand by I'm going to take him missing most of his shots, but getting 5 shots a game. I'll still take that over Polito. Of course, he just had a 2-goal game. So,
right.
I don't know. It's just kind of honestly, this week was a tale of 2 teams. It felt like.
Yeah. It's the story of our season. It
really is.
We're talking about 2 such drastically different teams.
Yeah.
That showed up, and I don't understand it. I just don't.
Yeah.
It feels like it's got to be a mindset issue. There's got to be something in the way that they're showing up for these games that's just not right.
Right.
So I think that's got to be it. But what do you do with that? I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know either.
Yeah.
All right. Who's your MVP?
I just purely I really don't want to single anybody else out at this point because everybody looked bad against Minnesota. I'm going to give it to Johnny Russell because you're the captain of this team. Figure it out.
I was confused. You said, I don't want to single anybody out, so I'm going to give it to Johnny Russell. I'm like,
oh, yeah. That's
huh? Oh, because of the captain thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I got
As long as he's got the armband, you're going to keep getting singled out, Johnny. Sorry. I love you very much. And if you're listening, which you are, I'm very sorry.
Have confirmed several times that he is a listener. So
very sorry. But
was he captain against Minnesota, though?
That's a good point. No, he was not.
Because he subbed in.
Timmy was the captain. He may have taken the armband whenever he came on.
Yeah, good point. I would have no way to know that because I don't think they track that. So.
No, I don't think so. But
either way, I still get what you're saying. If you're the captain,
right. Regardless whether he had the armband on his arm on Saturday when the game kicked off, it's still his club.
Yeah. You can't tell me because he didn't start and didn't have the armband on Saturday that pregame in the locker room, people were just not listening to him.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, there's Johnny, we don't understand what you're saying. There's that aspect, but they were still listening.
Right, exactly.
Write it on the whiteboard. We don't know what you're saying.
Exactly.
Yeah, I only did my notes for the first game. I didn't end up doing notes for the second one. But for MVP, I just have nope.
Yeah.
Because I was just going to straight refuse to pick one from the first game because it was such a good game. But then we go to the second game and it's like, well, everybody. So
sure.
I'm just going to stick with nope because nobody deserves one for the first game and everybody deserves it for the second game.
Yeah,
and like you, I'm not going to single one person out because everyone performed poorly.
Yeah.
And, Agata would be an easy pick because he hit the crossbar. Yeah. But he also had 5 shots and an assist in the first game, and we're doing a whole week MVP thing.
Right.
So it's like,
that is
how do I pick one person there? So,
yeah.
I'll just take the ultimate cop out, and I'll say, nope, I'm good.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
I guess I could for the Minnesota. Nope, that was Never mind, that wasn't even Minnesota. I was going to say I could give it to Vargas because he didn't do a thing, but that was Colorado. So
you can always give it to the ref.
Yeah, I could, but I didn't see anything glaring from the ref from the Minnesota game either.
There definitely was. The yellow card on
right. Yeah. That yellow card on Jake Davis was bad.
Yeah.
Great to see Jake back up to his normal shenanigans. Though.
No kidding.
He gets his 2 games. It comes right back immediately.
Right.
Gets another yellow card. So
but
we've replaced Roger, is what we're saying.
Right. Exactly.
He gets a little bigger and a little older. Those are going to turn into red cards.
Yeah. So. He's gonna have a problem on his hands at some point.
But if he, like Roger, is good enough in the games that he plays in, nobody's going to care because it's like he's a stud, so he's not going to come out. We just understand he's going to miss 3-4 games a year due to suspension. We just know that. It just is what it is.
My absolute favorite thing is that like he's so bad at getting yellow cards and red cards that we had to like verify the rules about getting a yellow card accumulation suspension and a red card suspension at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, how does that work?
Yeah, how does that work?
That's whenever somebody has to look something up because of something you did, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes, not
Yeah.
always. But anyway. Jake, you got to figure yourself out, man. It's just, well, that one wasn't his fault. He didn't even make contact with the guy, nor was it a yellow card.
True.
So, anyway.
Which, to be fair, that's 2 yellow cards in a row.
That's
could have been yellow cards. So
it's very true.
All right. Well, let's be done with this.
Let's do it.
We'll move on to the exciting part of our episode, which is pretty close to the end because I don't have anything else to talk about. No, but we will talk about Current Corner and the current. Let me tell you, exciting news there. And I'm gonna slightly jump ahead just because our next section is good, bad, and ugly. And the current are my good. So
sure,
I'm just gonna mesh those together.
Fair enough.
A 3-0 defeat over the Washington Spirit, who are struggling a little bit, which is good because they're still 2 points ahead of us in the standings.
Yep. 1 point now. No, 2 points. I'm sorry. I don't know how to read.
They're one. Yeah. Gotham snuck in there somehow. I didn't see it either at first. I was like, when did we get to 4th?
Yeah.
So with the same amount of games played too. So
yeah.
But either way, Orlando Pride's still undefeated also.
Yeah, they are.
Note there. But 3-0 defeat over Washington does secure the playoffs for the Kansas City Current, which is an awesome comeback considering how we finished last year.
Yeah.
How we went from being in the final to being the worst team in the league to right back to the playoffs. So thank you, Votko, first of all. First and foremost, you get an immense amount of credit. That was a solid hire.
Yeah, clearly so.
So anyway, great game there. Trinity Rodman did get hurt for Washington, which is sad. She's a U.S. women's national team excellent player, so we don't want to see any of them getting hurt.
Yep.
So that's unfortunate. Hopefully she makes a recovery. She did leave in a wheelchair, I am seeing. I didn't see it originally, but I am seeing that now.
I did see that.
But we do clinch the playoffs. That is my good. So rather than just repeating it here in 4 seconds after you do yours, I'll just throw that out there. That is also my good. So
I love it.
Welcome to the playoffs. Back to the playoffs, Kansas City Current. Hopefully that final at CPKC. That's the
CPKC, yes.
It drives me nuts that it's so close to CMP.
Right.
I do it every time.
Yeah, it's just close enough.
Yeah. CPKC Stadium is hosting the final this year, so hopefully that'll have a little more meaning.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Saturday morning, we do take on Gotham, so that would be a big win. That would leap us back up into at least 3rd place, maybe 2nd place, depending on how the Washington Spirit do.
Yep, for sure.
So, there you go. There's Current Corner for this week.
I love it.
This may end up being the last week where Current Corner is a segment, and we might just be a current podcast for the last few weeks. So, and we'll have a sporting segment about, well, here's how we did this week. Who cares?
Right.
We're not making the playoffs.
Exactly.
So, anyway.
Yeah. No, I also did want to note that just before we leave Current Corner, that since we have signed our new goalkeeper.
Mm-hmm.
We have not conceded a goal yet.
Yeah, that's true.
So that seems to be working out pretty well. I know people were a little concerned about replacing French. I think understandably so, but it seems to be working out. So,
yep,
I'll take it.
Yeah, that'll work. She's been doing well. So,
yep. Anywho,
okay. Well, now we'll go back.
Thanks.
To good, bad, and ugly. Go ahead and hit me with your good.
My good is anytime you're competing for hardware, it's a good thing. So we got one thing left in this season, and that is we might be winning an Open Cup. We're at least competing in the final. I mean, losing it would be pretty bad, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we will see what happens.
That's my good.
All right, my good, of course, was the current. So go ahead and hit me with your bad.
My bad goes to just this club. It's just been a rough few years, and especially for a club with such high expectations and such prestigious history, we got to be doing better. So my bad goes to like the last, 4 years of this season where we can't figure out how to win games consistently, and we can't make the playoffs without scraping in at the last second. And we got to do better. So this overhaul's got to happen. It's got to happen now. So got to do something.
That is essentially what my bad is.
Okay.
Mine was, I guess, my specific bad was getting eliminated from the playoffs by a team who has never beat us at home.
Yeah.
In the regular season, we did lose one playoff game to Minnesota at home, but getting beat at home by a team who has never beat us at home in the regular season and getting eliminated from playoffs, that was my bad. But my ugly is essentially the state of our club and where we're at. So I'll just kind of meld those together and basically what you said was essentially what I was going to say for my ugly. So just the state of where we're at is kind of ugly. I don't like it, especially being one of the prestigious clubs that people at least used to look at as far as an example of, how to be successful in the MLS. And I do hope that, as I have theorized a few times during the year, that this has more to do with ownership not letting Peter spend the money that needs to be spent to keep up with things. I do still firmly believe that we will never know if that's the case, unless they really do open their pocketbooks like they're saying they're going to do in these next, I guess, 2 windows now, because we already had one.
Yeah.
If they really do open their pocketbooks, then we will actually see if it is the spending and if Peter's still able to do it. So I think that's the only way to know. That's my theory, at least, is that it has more to do with they won't let him buy players that he wants to and haven't for years.
Right.
And this all started back when it was like, you're in first place. Why do you need these players? Like you're at the top. You're in the playoffs every year.
Right.
Because in 6, 7, 8 years, I'd like to still be in the playoffs.
Yeah,
now here we are, not in the playoffs.
Exactly.
So it's like, that's why we needed to spend that money on those younger players back then. So hopefully we can right that ship and get back to where we belong, where we can be looking down on St. Louis.
I hope so. I mean, I hope you're right. I really do. Like, I want Peter to be successful. I just have a hard time believing that's all it is just we're not buying players.
Sure.
I think there's got to be more to it than that. I've said it for a few seasons now, but really this year. And I know this is like completely not statistically driven and is completely intangible and blah, blah, blah. But it just feels like the mindset of this club is just wrong. It never feels like we have players that have the right mindset. We can never be clinical in the way that we approach the game. We can never be consistent. Things are all over the place. And it just feels like there's too many fundamental problems with the club. And it just feels like more than just money. I hope I'm not right. I really do. I want you to be right. Because I want to believe in Peter. I want to believe that he can do can do what it takes to win. And I want us to return to winning ways, especially because the ownership has made it very clear they're not firing Peter. And so we have no choice. If we want to be successful, it's got to be money. And hopefully the owners actually pay money. So
And I think it can definitely be both. I think both of us can, because like you said, if the players don't have the right mindset, that's true. But if your ownership is not letting you get new players, then it's hard to replace the old ones that don't have the right mindset. So I think it's very possible that it can absolutely be both of these things working together, where it's like, I would love to replace some of these players, but I can't because they won't let me replace them. And I can't just cut players. Then we just wouldn't have anybody. Or we just have a bunch of young kids who are by no means ready to play.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but we're going to find out.
Yeah. No, that's valid. That's totally valid. I sure hope it's something that can be fixed with Peter, because if not, we're in for a few years.
Yeah. But I don't know. All right, what was your ugly?
My ugly is I don't know. We're making things up as we go, guys. Actually, you know what? My ugly. Listen, like you guys have seen, this has been a rough year for us. But at least we're not San Jose. San Jose, like 18 points.
Yeah.
You guys have won like 5 games all season, and you've lost 22 games.
Yeah.
That's a lot. And then a minus 32 goal differential. Like, it's just not going good for you guys. So San Jose,
and you have some players too.
Sorry.
So it's confusing,
It is. It really is.
You guys want to get rid of Bobasi? Send him over.
Yeah, no kidding.
Happily. Go ahead.
Yeah, or give us like Christian Espinoza. Like, yeah, like, we'll take
weird. And the weirdest part to look at, if you go through like the columns and stuff, they only have 3 less wins than we do.
Yeah.
We're not that far ahead of them on wins. There are 4 ties, which helps us a lot. And they have 6 more losses than we do. But it's just crazy how quickly that can change.
Math is wild.
Yeah, right.
So anyway, San Jose is my ugly.
There you go. Yep. All right, let's preview this week's games.
Let's do it.
Actually, pretty big week, pretty exciting week.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that only one of these games means anything. Well, no, that's not true. Both of these games mean something.
That is true. Both of these games mean something for sure.
So our first game tomorrow night, we have the U.S. Open Cup Final versus the Los Angeles Football Club. I mean, LAFC is that's going to be a tough game.
LAFC's a tough draw normally, let alone at BMO Stadium.
Yes. And going for a trophy, so they're going to be trying to. Their lineup is insane.
Yeah.
They just added Vela back. Will he be available? Who knows? What kind of shape is he in after not playing for 8 months? Who knows?
Yeah, but you got to think he's going to come in for 20 minutes.
Yeah, I would expect to see him. But even if he doesn't, they have Kai Kamara, they have Olivier Giroud, they got Bouanga, they got David Martinez.
Yeah,
they got Elie.
Yeah,
it just seems like their roster is insane already.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I don't know, but we've already beat good teams. We literally beat a good team last week.
Right. Yeah. So, we beat Colorado, who are above LAFC in points right now. So it's very doable. This team is good enough to compete.
Yeah, it's just a matter of what team shows up.
Right, exactly. If we get another Colorado, great. But
so how do you think this goes?
Listen, I mean, we're flipping a coin here. I am going to be optimistic, and I think we're going to come out guns blazing. I think we're going to score 3 goals on LAFC. Our defense is going to be sturdy, and we're going to beat them 3-0.
Wow.
Is what I said in my dreams last night.
Okay.
We're losing 3-2.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I am shocked that you're picking Sporting in this one.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. No, listen. If it was, if it was in St. Louis, gosh, if it was in Kansas City, I think it'd be a whole different ballgame. LAFC is just so dominant in their stadium. There are at home they're 9-2-4. They've only lost 2 games all season. Now, granted, we did go there at the beginning of the year and draw them. But I just don't see this being the same thing. Like, it's hard to compare a result back in March to this. Like, we're talking about two completely different situations. So I just don't see us having enough firepower to be able to go up against this team and beat them, especially not with the trophy on the line.
Yeah.
As much as I want to bring that trophy home, I don't think it's going to. So anyway, there it is.
Fair enough. I agree with a lot that you said there.
Okay.
LAFC is very good at home, but not against us.
Okay.
LAFC, for whatever reason, we play pretty well in that stadium. We, like you said, we have drawn the last 2 times that we went there. 3 times ago, which was back in 22. I just looked at it and then I clicked off it. We did lose, but prior to that, it was another draw and a win. So they don't beat us there very often.
Yeah, that is true.
Frankly, I think we won it. At this point, it's like, we got to win this trophy or this season is a complete bust. I think we go in with more of a chip on our shoulder. I think Johnny Russell has an insane game because he's played 19 seasons and has never won a trophy, period, anywhere, in any country, in any competition.
Interesting.
And I think he also knows this very likely could be his last chance to win a trophy.
Yeah.
So I think he is going to come in and play out of his mind. And I think we win 2-0.
Interesting.
I think not only do we get a win, they don't score.
I think that's probably the most wild part of the prediction is that they're not going to score.
100%. I agree. But
I could see a world in which we win this game. I mean, of course we can. I stand by what I said, that we are talented. Like, we're talented enough to beat this team. We are good enough. But I don't know. Like, that's wild to think that we can shut down LAFC at home.
I agree. Honestly, I agree. I think it's wild, but I think it happens. And I think that the main reason that I think that is because I think, first of all, what I think happens is we score first.
Okay.
And then we do the unthinkable thing that Peter has never done. And we park a bus and we just don't do anything. We just defend because we know we have to.
Great.
With some counter, of course, which is how we end up getting our second goal.
Sure.
Probably later in the 80th, 85th minute, we score a second dagger of a goal that really sends you and I out of our chairs and pisses off my neighbors because I'm yelling so loud. I love it. So good.
Yeah.
But also, if you go back to, I want to look here really quick. So Colorado also scores a lot of goals.
Yeah.
58 goals to be exact. They have 10 more goals than we do. In fact, they have 6 more goals than LAFC does.
Okay.
Colorado only scored once on us 1 week ago. And frankly, the only reason that they scored is because Pulse Camp is 21 and doesn't have the experience to know how to. Like, he was just out of position. That's the only reason that goal even went in.
Yeah.
It trickled through. He got a weird foot to it, and Pulse Camp was out of position, and it just went in.
Yeah.
So if Mealy is in goal, that's saved. So I think it's going to be the same. It's going to be the same, except for we don't score 4. We'll only score 2. And we're going to hold them to 0. That's what I'm going with.
Okay.
I'm going with 2-0. Give us a trophy. Paint the wall.
I love it.
Give me another number for my calf tattoo, you know? I don't have any other numbers on there yet, but it'll give me a reason to put another number on there.
There you go.
Let's do it. That's what I'm going with.
Okay. I sure hope you're right.
Me too. That'd be great.
Oh, man.
And then I won't care what happens the rest of it. Well, it's not true. I will care a little bit about what happens this Saturday, which we're about to get to. But as far as the rest of the season, don't care. Got a trophy.
Correct.
Don't care. Got a trophy.
Yeah. I think our season ends Saturday.
Yeah.
After that,
you guys are watching the playoffs from your couch. Yeah, with a trophy.
Yeah, with the trophy.
We got a trophy sitting right next to us on our couch watching the playoffs. I don't care.
All right, exactly. We won the longer tournament that's harder to win.
Yeah. With our owner's name on it.
Right.
We'll also add. So, which would mean only something to.
Is his name on the trophy? I know it's
honestly,
tournament.
I don't know. It's his tournament. I guess I was just assuming, but I don't know if his name's on the trophy or not. Probably not. I'm sure it's named after some random Bosnian dude who designed the font that goes on the trophy or something.
Yeah, I am curious.
But I know it's his tournament at least.
Yes, it is the Lamar Hunt Open Cup.
Yeah.
Started in 1914. I still can't believe that. Like, that's a crazy
That is wild.
stat.
Yeah, that is wild. All right. Well, let's move to Saturday. If you're ready.
Sorry, it is the Sir Thomas Dwyer Cup.
Yeah, who invented the font that goes on the back of the champion jerseys or something stupid? Yeah.
Here's what's the worst thing. Hang on. The 3 winners of the U.S. Open Cup will have their name etched on the base of the Sir Thomas Dwyer Cup. The trophy was donated by whiskey magnate and soccer promoter Sir Thomas Dwyer.
Cool.
Yeah.
So they just donated the trophy, so they named it after him.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, moving on.
All right, moving on to our Super Bowl.
Yeah.
We will be traveling across the state to our little brother of a city to play against the St. Louis. We don't know what the color red looks like. Soccer City.
Yeah.
Frozen raviolis or whatever dumb shit they go by still. We are playing St. Louis in the final rendition of this rivalry this year. This one is in St. Louis, where we notoriously do not play well.
No, not at all.
This could potentially be rough. However, St. Louis is bad this year and are worse than us. So
yes, for sure.
How do you think this goes?
I think it's going to be an ugly game. It's either going to be 0-0 or it's going to be 7-7. Okay. There is no in between. I'm going to go with 0-0.
Really? All right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm going with 3-1 Sporting.
Fair enough.
Coming off of a trophy win that we will have a few days prior, which I hope we take that trophy so that St. Louis fans can finally see what a trophy looks like.
Yeah.
We can hold it up to them and be like, this is what it looks like.
Hey, some are old enough. They watched the Lombardi get hoisted.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But yeah, sure. But yeah, I hope we take that there. I'm going with 3-1 Sporting. Okay. And not bonus point, but a little side bet for you if you guys are interested. Jake Davis red card.
Oh, I like it.
Because I think you're right. This is going to be real chippy and real gross. And then we'll actually show you guys what red looks like. Then you'll know.
There you go.
You'll go, oh, that's red. This is pink.
Red.
You know, I like their color. I just don't understand why they're like, oh, we're in our home reds. That's pink, bro.
Right.
I don't
like. It's a good looking design. Like, you guys did a really good job on the design and the team branding. Yeah. Just admit it. It's pink. It's okay.
It's not Inter Miami pink.
No.
So
yeah.
It's a cool color. I have no problem with that. But 100%. I don't know why they call it home. Now, to be fair, I've never been to a game there. I've never been to City Park. Maybe in the stadium it looks way more red. Maybe. I don't know.
Sure, maybe.
But it sure looks pink to me. I don't know what to tell you.
It does.
Doesn't matter. Who cares? 3-1 Sporting. Let's get this. Let's shut these St. Louis fans up for at least the rest of the year.
Let's see. I'm looking at their Wikipedia. I'm going to see if it says the name of their colors. No, it just says home colors and then away colors.
Figures.
It just shows the kits.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all I got. I don't have anything else.
Yeah, me neither. Honestly, shocked we made it this long.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 100%. That is shocking. But
yeah.
All right. Well, let me get back over here so I can read this properly. You can definitely catch us streaming on the Fired Up Network on True TV, which you can get that app on the Amazon App Store, Roku, or Apple TV. Again, we're always up on Thursday nights. Continues to play throughout the week. Rest of our links are going to be down below. of course. And as always, if you will hit us up with a like, maybe a subscribe. Actually, I'd prefer the opposite order. The subscribe would help us more currently. Likes only matter if we get paid for our videos, which we don't, so I don't really care about that. Subscriptions will help us get to more people, though. So,
yeah.
If you could head over and click that little subscribe button, it's free and it only takes 5 seconds, and there's a decent chance you're probably going to be on YouTube today anyway, if you're not watching this exact video. But you're probably going to be on YouTube at some point anyway, so just go, oh yeah, let me paint the wall, subscribe. There you go.
There you go.
Just do that. It'll make Logan really happy.
It would, yeah.
All right. Logan, I appreciate you as always.
Appreciate you, Steve.
You all have a great week.
See everybody.